Open your ears and lube up your butthole. It's time for the What Do We Call It podcast. Now, here's your host. It's Jmann. Welcome to the What Do We Call It podcast. I'm Jmann.
And I'm number one fan, Tim.
I'm going to tell you a story. A story about that pallet of siding that is sitting on the side of my driveway.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And I'll explain why it's not attached to my house.
Show me what you got!
Now, you know the story of how
Legacy Restoration
subcontracts out to a bunch of non-English speaking Mexicans who did a hackneyed job on my roof.
It's cheap labor.
I don't know why I would have expected anything less out of their siding department.
I use the same company.
Well, I signed on with them to do my roof and my siding.
Okay, so this wasn't like a fresh new deal you've done. It's just continuing.
Right, I'm already contracted to work with them or have them do the work. I wasn't going to be like, well, you fucked that up. Let's give it another roll. I want to give you boys a chance to make it better.
The way you said it, that's what it sounded like you did.
No. So I just want to set this up. I've been waiting for them to do my siding because I did my roof in October, November, I don't remember. But the point being is they finally decided they're going to do my siding, which I was like, it's fucking winter. What the hell?
They can do that in winter.
They can, but here's the problem. With certain kinds of siding, if you put it on there and the cold air you trap behind the foam boarding behind the vinyl meets the outside of the house wall that's warmer from the inside, condensation, and it can deteriorate the materials.
Mold.
Which is like, motherfucker. But
they really thought that out, didn't they?
Yeah, that's not even like the worst part. The guy called me and said, hey, we're going to come drop off the materials and the dumpster. So they're looking to do your siding next Friday. Cool. So they dropped the shit off on Thursday. This is 2 weeks ago.
Holy shit!
And then they called to confirm Friday. Didn't show up on Friday.
Fuck!
Saturday morning, this Mexican guy showed up, and I'm pretty sure he's the guy that dropped the dumpster off.
Hola.
And I went outside to talk to him, and I explained him what we're doing with the job, because he didn't exactly know. I mean, he was fluent in English, but he still had problems speaking it. He understood it fine. But I told him, but so you're going to do this all today? He's like, well, I want to do it Monday, so I can do it all in one day. I'm like, but that don't work. It's got to be today. They said it's going to happen this weekend. Well, yeah, but I want to do it Monday because then I'll have another guy, and then we can get it done in one day. I'm like, okay, well,
what?
I work third shift. They know that. I sleep during the day. Certain days of the week I have off. Those days are Friday and Saturday now. So that's why it has to be Friday or Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I gotcha.
He's like, oh, yeah, but I'll have my extra. I'm like, no, you're not understanding. If you show up on Monday morning, I'm going to be pissed because I go to bed at like 8:30 in the morning, which means you better not be pounding on the side of my house because how the hell am I going to sleep with you hammering away? Okay. Well, let me go call my guy, and I'll come knock on the door here. He gets in his truck. He fucking disappears. He's gone. You would have thought that I told him that, hey, yeah, why don't you bring your crew over right now and I'll have my friends from ICE come check all your green cards. He disappears. And then I didn't call the company back to let them know what happened yet, but they left me a voicemail message that following Wednesday saying that, yeah, they're going to come this Friday and do it now. Okay, cool, fine. That was a voicemail that was left for me while I was sleeping at like 8:39 in the morning.
Okay.
I wake up, and I'm having a dream. And what I can remember is I'm in some sort of boardroom. I don't know what we're talking about. But I can hear bass thumping from a car outside in the dream.
Okay.
I'm like, who the fuck has their radio so loud? And I start to come to. And that's when I wake up and realize that it's not bass thumping in a car trunk. It's somebody pounding on the side of my bedroom wall. And I sit there for a second, and then I hear Spanish. So then I call Legacy, and I bitch about what's going on. I'm like, hey, can you explain to me why this morning you left me a voicemail stating that they're going to do my siding on a Friday, and it's Wednesday at 1 p.m. on one of the days I said not to come here, and they're pounding on the side of my house right now.
What?
Oh, they are? Oh. Well, let me call them. Like, I don't appreciate being woken up like this. What did you not understand about that? Well, I'll get to the bottom of it. I take a piss. I go outside. I see the first beaner, and he just looks at me and nods. And then I see the second one, and he says something, either morning or afternoon, or I don't fucking know. And then I go to the other side, and I'm like, whoa, stop. You're not supposed to be here today. And the guy's like, what? Like, you're not supposed to be here today. You're not supposed to be here till Friday. Oh, no, speak English. So I go to the other guy. I'm like,
what the fuck?
I'm like, you guys aren't supposed to be here till Friday. He's like, yeah, I no speak English. And I just went, stop. Comprende? And they're like, yeah.
Alto.
So then I go around and I'm like, who the fuck is in charge right now? That's when I stopped being cordially dickish and went full-blown asshole.
I can imagine that. I think at that point it would be appropriate.
So I'm just like, who the fuck's in charge right now? The guy's like, I am. I'm like, okay, you understand that you're not supposed to be here till Friday? Oh, no, I didn't know that. I'm like, really? Because I implicitly told somebody from your company on Saturday when he was here that I sleep during the day, Sunday through Thursday, not to show up until Friday or Saturday. He wanted to come Monday. I said no. Now it's Wednesday and you're here out of the blue. I'm like, you just woke me up. And I wasn't supposed to wake up for 3 fucking hours. So I don't understand what the hell you guys don't get. But pack up your shit and get out of here now. And then I went back in the house. And I called
Legacy Restoration
again. And I talked to some dickhole named Mark for the second time.
Hi, Mark.
And he starts talking. And I'm like, seriously, I don't think you get how upsetting it is to be woken up like that. Oh, yeah, I'm really, really sorry. I'm like, well, here's the thing. And he interrupts me. I'm like, don't cut me off, goddamn you.
Yeah, I want to bitch at you in one long rant.
I'm like, I don't need you to apologize. It fixes nothing. It doesn't make up for the 3 hours of sleep I'm not going to get, because I wasn't going to get up till 4 when I had to. But I woke up at 1 thanks to your crew. Like, I just want to impress upon you how angry I am after the roofing job kerfuffle, where your guys left my gutter screens all fucking cockamamie, and the lowest row of shingles, the edges look shitty. So one of your honchos came out here and fixed it. Here's how pissed I am right now. I'm about to call Lori Swanson's office. Does that name ring a bell? Oh, yeah, it's like a politician or something. Like, no. It's not a politician. That is the state attorney general's office. I wouldn't complain to the Better Business Bureau because they don't do shit and they don't mean anything to me. But if I called the state attorney general's office and file a formal complaint, then they're really up your ass. And then maybe you'll get the drift that it's time to tighten up your business practices here. Well, I don't know how this got miscommunicated. I'm like, well, the phrase lost in translation comes to mind. And then he says this brilliant line. Well, we'll do whatever it takes to make this right. I'm like, unless you got a fucking time machine, bud, I don't see how you're going to make up for this, because I can't go back and make myself fall asleep. When I say I was jolted out of sleep to pounding on not one but both sides of my house. So not only am I disoriented, not knowing what the fuck is going on, but it sounds like somebody's trying to kick in my back door. So I jump out of bed, and if you don't know what that does to a person, well, I've got a large lump in my chest right now from the adrenaline rush of thinking that there's an intruder trying to get into my house.
And I'm about ready to go into fucking kill mode.
Just like, I don't know if you realize how hard it is to do a adrenaline dump, but it's not like I sip a cup of tea and just go lay down for a bit and ease back into it. This has fucked up my day. I'm like, so here's the deal. The crew that's out there right now, I don't want to see them again. And you better not try to pull a fast one by sending them in different vehicles. None of the guys that are outside right now are allowed back on my property, or there will be trouble. Do you understand? And I don't care what you got to do to find me a new crew. The logistics, that's yours to figure out. And I hung up on them. I end a lot of my calls with hanging up on them.
Sounds like it.
I go outside, and they're packing up their ladders and shit, which they had propped up against the house, and I was going to try to have them save as much of the old siding as possible. I was going to repurpose it. Well, now a bunch of it has holes in it from them leaning their ladders on it. And there's pieces of fucking upper siding trim hanging down. There's nails all over the side of my garage from them just ripping off a few panels of stuff. And I say, hey, take your trailer with you. Oh, I can no take right now. What do you mean? A guy with a truck has to come. You have a fucking truck. Jesus Christ, Pepe. I mean, how many moving parts of this are there? That company's name is Phoenix Construction. I have no problem putting their name out there. They are idiots.
Don't use them.
So I sit around for an hour thinking, can I go back to sleep? Could I possibly do? No, I couldn't. I was just pissed. So I call the number on the side of the dumpster for Phoenix Construction, tell them to come pick up his dumpster. Oh, yeah. Well, I guess there was some confusion at the homeowner. I'm like, no. Dude, I'm the homeowner. You're talking to me. I'm the guy that you just woke up 3 hours early and pissed off, and then I called Legacy. I'm the reason your crew got fired from this job. Okay, that's fine. Really,
What?
motherfucker?
You're fine with your crew being fired from a job? High standards.
Yeah, and I said, so here's the deal. I want your dumpster gone by 4 o'clock. Well, I can't do that. I'm like, it is 2:45. You're telling me that you can't get here in the next hour and 15 minutes, hook up a tow hitch, and pull it away? Well, I can do that, but I can't make magic.
He's got the same English skills as the people that do the work.
No shit. Well, let me help you figure this out there, Jorge Copperfield. You back the truck up. You hook it up to your trailer hitch ball. You lock it in place. You hook on the hook chains, and then you connect the light kit so that the people behind you don't rear end your trailer not knowing you're stopping. And you pull it the fuck away, and you drive off into eternity where I never see you again, or else I'm going to beat you to death with your own shoes. Fucking assholes.
Now, when you said it was a dumpster, was it a dumpster trailer?
Yes.
So it had wheels and everything?
Yes.
Okay, because I was picturing like the big, huge dumpster.
No. It's not like a full-on
Okay.
construction dumpster that they have to come and get with like a forklift truck and back it in and all that shit. No, this is a converted open-air 6x12 trailer tow behind.
Okay.
It's not an enclosed. They made a dumpster out of it
No, I gotcha.
and then slapped their brilliant logo.
Which is surprising because you wouldn't think that would have enough capacity to hold the siding from a house of this size.
Oh, it was already half full when they brought it here.
Oh, that's
from
just
another
great.
job.
So in other words, they were going to fill it halfway through your project and then try to dump it and come back and
Who knows?
continue on. For them telling you they're going to get your siding done in one day, that's absolute bullshit. I've never seen a siding job take less than 2 days.
Well, it's only the sides of the house. It's not the back and it's not the front.
Oh, really?
But keep in mind that all they're doing is ripping everything off the sides and then going plain white all the way up to the gable. So that orange shit on the sides will be gone.
Okay. I thought you were having your whole house done.
Oh, no. Because to do the front of my house, they wanted $3,000 to put vinyl on the front of my house.
Siding isn't cheap.
Jesus Christ. So out in my yard sits a pallet of siding, and I thought they took the nails and the caulking sealant with them. I found it today because the snow around it melted enough for me to find the box. They left it open, so there's fucking snow sitting on the nails.
So they're going to be all nice and rusty.
And a couple of the boxes of siding, the fucking flap is open. Like, they didn't tape this shit shut. They just dipped out.
No.
I told them to clean up their nails, so they must have cleaned up most of them when they picked up their trailer, but we still found 2 out there. And, of course, if the
not
wife
exact
gets a
science
flat,
doing nails.
they're fucking paying for that shit.
Oh, yeah, definitely. See, now, I had the fascia and soffit done on my house, and I thankfully didn't have anywhere near the trouble you did. They were actually really quite helpful.
Oh, would you like to name drop that company?
Custom remodelers.
Oh.
Oh, good for you!
That's the thing about this job on my roof and my siding is that I didn't really want to submit a claim. I didn't think my roof was that bad.
Oh, I'm paying for my shit out of pocket.
Right. Well, mine's on the insurance because of the storm we had last summer.
Oh, where it was snowing in June.
Right.
Or hailing.
Yeah.
That was hail. That wasn't snow.
Yeah. So I had a few pieces of siding with some little pea-sized cracks in them. That's it.
I wish my siding would get damaged from a storm.
There's like 6 of them. I really didn't need to do this, and it's been a horrible experience. And because I was stupid enough to not, talk to somebody else that had gone through this before, the insurance check, I signed that over to them. Like, in the beginning. Like, all of it.
You'll never do that again.
Well, obviously. And I asked him for an invoice back in November, and the guy just sent me this paperwork that was the explanation of what the insurance company was giving me for everything. It's like, I don't want the ACV paperwork again, fuckface. I said I wanted an invoice of the cost of materials that you are spending my money and the cost of the labor. I want to know how much of 11 grand you've spent. That's what I want. And these dickbags haven't called me since the whole fire in their crew last week.
I will be honest with you. I think you're going to be going to court.
Probably.
Because now they have your money. They're mad at you. And
doesn't mean that
they're going to drag this out as long as possible.
Well, they need to render the services because the siding's just sitting out there, and they already started the job. And where I live, the municipality has rules about how long a job can take.
Yeah, understandable, but they're gonna take as long as they possibly can.
That's cool. I know where their offices are. I can show up and wreak all kinds of havoc right there.
Then I would say do it if you need to.
I'll be like, give me the most important motherfucker here. And as soon as I get out in the parking lot, then it's going to be complaint, tweet, complaint, call to the news. I mean, if you want me to bring a Channel 5 investigative reporter to your office to ask you questions about how you obviously took on way more jobs than you could handle, because I get that it's feast or famine, you make your money when you can, but now you've got so many jobs to do, and you're so backlogged that you're just hiring any old fucking crew that'll do.
That's what a lot of contractors will do. They'll hire independent workers, subcontractors to do the work. Like when I had my house redone after the house fire, I can't remember the name of the company that was the main contractor, but they subcontracted somebody that actually went in there and did all the work. And a decent job, a couple of things I didn't like, how things turned out, but overall not bad. But then when I started having a couple issues here and there, the company went out of business.
Oh.
No, the cell phones wouldn't work. I knew they were moving their office, but apparently they just fell off the fucking planet.
Did they finish the job?
Oh yeah, everything was done, but it's like the ceiling, where one of the ceiling joints are for the drywall in the ceiling, that's cracked. So now you can see where the seam is. And then the concrete landings they poured for my deck were chipping because they milked it too much. And if you milk the concrete too much for that nice smoother surface, giggity, it'll chip off after a while. Well, it's all chipping.
Oh, lovely.
So it's just like, fuck. And then, of course, I'm not even going to get into the moisture problem. I have to run a dehumidifier all winter long to keep condensation off the walls and windows. And even then, that's not enough.
Why?
I don't know if it's because there's 6 people in there, or if the house is so tight from new insulation in the walls and vapor barrier and everything that the moisture has nowhere to go. They told me it was all the new hardwood flooring, all the materials, there's moisture in them, just give it a year to work out. Well, it's been 9 years now, and I still have to run a dehumidifier all winter long.
I mean, I got to run a dehumidifier in the summer down here in the basement, but it's unfinished.
No, I don't have to run a dehumidifier in this. See, that's just it. Most people have to run a humidifier in winter.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite. I have to run a dehumidifier.
That's weird.
I know it's weird. And there isn't really anything I can do about it now. I thought maybe just cheap fucking windows. Like maybe the moisture's not that bad. It's just their shitty windows. And that very well could be. But I have no way now to know.
Maybe they weren't caulked properly.
I have no idea.
Well, it's funny because one of our friends in the neighborhood, I noticed in December that they also had a sign in their yard for Legacy Exteriors. So I called them the other day to ask them what kind of luck they had. And she's like, well, I'd only ever given them a $3,000 down payment for all this work. And then they were going to get this kind of siding. Then it wasn't available, so they had to go with a different kind of siding. And then they were having trouble. Every time the guy would show up that they worked with to show them samples of stuff to pick from, he would have some samples and then not the other samples. So instead of bringing everything at once and getting it all together, one meeting turned into 3 or 4. And they haven't even started the work on their house yet.
Well, I could say I know people have had bad experiences with custom remodelers. But mine was good. Well, they were there when they said they were going to be there. They did exactly what they said they were going to do. And it took them exactly as long as they said it was going to take them.
Yeah.
And I was very happy with the quality of work when they were all done. I really was.
Well, it turns out that the next door neighbor to the person I was talking to on the phone also has a legacy exterior story.
Okay.
But he's a retired old guy,
Uh-huh.
so he had the time to do this. He didn't like the timetable for the job. So at one point he called them every day for a month.
Awesome.
And then they finally just came out and did it.
Roadhouse.
Because they got sick of hearing from him.
What were they like? Well, we'll be out there in 2 months or something.
Fucking I don't know. They have a lot of signs around these parts. So they took a lot of people's money. See, the reason I signed over the check, aside from being inexperienced and technically a dumbass, is I thought they needed the money to buy the materials because of the way that the bullshit artist salesman explained it. That they need the money to go buy the materials to set up the job and line up the crew to do it.
No, that's probably a down payment for material, and even then, they buy material in bulk or they buy it by each, and then they just settle their account at the end of the month for what was purchased. So they really don't need that money up front. They like the money up front to kind of get things rolling a little bit. Like, oh, well, we got some money so we can make these bills this month, and then when the job's done, we'll bill next month, and we can so on and so forth. So, but no, they don't need it up front. I mean, it'd be great if, like, give me the money, I'll buy everything, and I'll be out here in 2 days.
Right.
You know?
Not the case. So now I've got my story that sucks and kind of my friends in the neighborhood. And I got to think that their next door neighbor, the old guy, isn't 100% happy. So that's 3 people. Do you know how many complainants you need for a class action lawsuit?
3?
4.
4. Ooh, 4.
Right. We're one batter away from hitting for the cycle here.
Drive around the neighborhoods.
There are
talk to other
signs
people.
all over town and in the adjacent communities. I could cold knock on doors and be like, hi, I'm so-and-so. I'm utilizing the same company that you are to do the exterior repairs on my home. Could I bend your ear for 5 minutes to see what kind of experience with them you've had? I'm looking for people to formulate a class action lawsuit against these fuckers.
Mm-hmm. Bad contractors shouldn't be doing business. If you can't get your shit together and hire a decent crew, then just give up. Go do something else.
Well, and
The Beast.
pretty much called me racist for saying this today. I'm like, if you can't fucking speak English and your job is to deal with customers, don't work in this industry. Get the fuck out of here. In fact, go the fuck back to Mexico if you don't want to learn enough English to be able to function in the customer service industry when you're repairing homes. It shouldn't be a crew shows up of like 3 to 5 people and one guy speaks English and they all translate. Because the guy that I told to get the fuck out of here, that they were done, I didn't want to see him again, was talking to his boss on the phone on speakerphone and they were speaking in Spanish.
Oh, wonderful. I'm sorry. This is the U.S. So if you're going to live here and work here, and as you said, work in the customer service industry, speak fucking English.
You have to be able to communicate with the people whose house you're working on.
If I move to Mexico, I'll learn Spanish.
Well, what if one of these guys fell off my roof when they were doing the roofing job, broke his back,
Sorry, I don't understand.
and they're
you.
trying to tell me what's going on, and I don't fucking speak Spanish?
I just had this funny scene in my head right now. Just like,
You know? Is it of a guy tripping over the air hose for a nail gun, and then he does a somersault off my roof, and then you just hear, ay, ay, ay!
and then splat, and then you're like, what happened? And they're pointing at the ceiling and then pointing down at the ground and grabbing their back. Oh, that was so racist.
Something. No, it's not. No, it's not, because that's how it would sound. You're doing an impression. You're not saying, oh, fuck the Mexicans, I hate those dirty brown people. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is, if you speak Spanish, if you speak Italian, or French, or German, or fucking Swahili, or I don't care what other language you speak, if you're going to work with people that speak English, you need to speak English. And if you're going to be a company that subcontracts out crews that do not speak English, don't be shocked if they fuck up the details of when and what they're supposed to be doing, like showing up 2 days early and waking me up out of a goddamn coma. I was like super asleep. I mean, mid-dream, awesome sleep, and then jarred out of it. For Christ's sake. Imagine if, like, you were plowing the wife and then you were right about to climax, or you were at least rounding third. And then all of a sudden, one of the kids turned on the stereo in the living room at 2 in the morning. Are you going to finish and then go out there? Or are you going to be like, oh my God, what's going on? Like, you don't know. Or you hear a window break.
That'd be kind of a mood killer, I think. Yeah. So I ain't going to be able to finish.
Right. They fucked it up. Or if you're eating dinner and all of a sudden the dog takes a shit in the middle of the kitchen table. You're going to clean up the shit, but is that meal going to be finished the same way?
Nope.
No.
It's going in the garbage.
Well, I don't know about that, but
It's going in the garbage. I'm sorry, but I think poop splatters a little.
now these are like well-formed Lincoln Log style
I don't
doggy
care.
poops.
It plops, and I just imagine little tiny speckles of poop going and settling onto food.
Settling on the food.
Yeah.
How loose is your dog's anus?
I'm not saying the dog's anus is loose. I'm just saying. That's what I picture. Like a fart. A fart smells like poop. That's because there's poop particles, and it just poof.
Okay. So you're using the transitive property.
Yeah, sure.
You don't know what that is, do you?
No, I don't.
You should probably watch more Criminal Minds.
Yeah.
Interact with the show on Twitter at What Do We Call It? That is at What Do We Call It? You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/group/What Do We Call It podcast show. For the What Do We Call It podcast, I'm Jmann.
I'm number one fan, Tim.
And that's the end.